Hello everyone, it's Farket here. In this video, I'm going to give you as many tips as I can for custom building. So let's go. With a custom platform, it is relatively easy to place. What you need to know though is that it snaps into place. So we'll go this big. As you can see here, it's snapping into place. So we'll place one just to begin with. Make sure it snaps. If you're struggling to see it snap from this angle, come around to this side. And what you can do is count the log. See how it moves as I'm backing out, and it stops moving. So you want to go until it stops. So there. So if we go along here, it's a little bit off. So we extend it out a little bit more. And there we go. It's a perfectly square platform. Now playing in creative mode, speed this up. Now if you want to place an angled one, you can do it. Now if you want to connect another platform, just go up to the side and try and line it up as accurately as possible. I can't stress how accurate you really need to be. So even here, that's a lip. You'll get caught on that. It's ridiculous how much you could get caught on these things. But we'll try it again. See, that looks a little bit better. That's a safe bet. So you try and line it up with where you place. So I place that on the outside a little bit. And as a result, it's going to be uneven. So we'll try and get a little bit more accurate. I'm a perfectionist, so I will get it as accurate as I can. Measure twice, cut once. Okay, so that's in there. It's a little bit in on the other one. That's okay. Now it's come out a little bit like this. So what we could probably do to prevent this is go another way. Like that. And what I'm going to do, count that way in. Now, if you want to go on an angle, it will snap. See? Snaps. So we'll work with that. There we go. It's an angle platform. Now it's a little bit uneven, and the floorboards go to the other way. This doesn't affect anything, it just depends on the look you want. But I'm not getting caught on it, that's the main thing. Because we're building on a hill, you'll get this situation where if you wanted to extend it out, this would happen. So we align it. And now it's going to go onto the floor. Now, if you want to extend it up, there are two ways. I'll show you both. Now, the way I do it is I like to do this. Get a rock wall out, and you see it's got the C button. That's automatic mode. That's going to place it automatically. I don't want that because I want it to go all the way along. So what I'll do, I'll go right to the edge and come all the way along. Like that. And what I do next, I get the custom platform or custom foundation out again. Sorry for the terms I still never learn. So I'm placing it a little bit above it. Then we go along. Just remember all this foliage here and bushes, trees, stick trees, all that, they will regrow when you save and reload. So avoid that. So you come along. That's perfectly square. So we finish that. And then we finish these. I reckon that looks good. That's the way I would do it. Now it is on ellipse, so you'll need to build stairs. So what I'll do, set it up. Depends if you want to go in the middle. We'll just go to the side for now. Now, as you can see, when it starts doing this, it's going to cost more logs. It depends if you want that. So the solution to that is you just fiddle with it. Go as far as you can until it stops. And try and line it up as perfectly as you can. And then we've got a staircase. Now we'll start building some walls. Now it's obviously going to do that, but that's okay, we can work with this. If you want to go the automatic mode, you can, or you can go custom. See, like here, if I was to go custom, I extend it across, and across here, and across here. We'll deal with the gap later on. Go inside, yeah. And sometimes it will do this where it won't, oh no. If it doesn't let you place it, just extend it down to somewhere and cancel it, and it should fix it. Now see here, we could probably get this to go into 2. So instead of 15 logs, it will cost 10. We'll test it first. But the problem is placing anything is it might convert to 3 logs. See if we can cancel the right ones. No, not the right ones. So we should have cancelled it first. It doesn't matter. Just replace it. So it goes automatic mode, C. And then we place it across. There you go. So you just saved yourself 5 logs and it probably looks a bit better. So I'll put the doorway here just for aesthetic purposes. And we'll place a couple of windows. Don't place too many windows because it can make the house look a bit silly. Just use your discretion what you sort of want to do. So might place 1 window there, and that looks good. Now you've got an issue here where you'll obviously need stairs. Now stairs are probably the hardest thing to do for when you're new, because if they're too high, like say, we'll just do a test. You know, that looks fine, but what happens, we can get caught in the doorway, or it could even be blocked. So we'll destroy that. Now what I've learned is it's better to go too low than not high enough. So we'll go and try and make it so it doesn't do that lip thing. Like that. Perfect doorway. Perfect stairs. Oh, we didn't finish that. Now, an issue here is that when we place a custom wall around here, what's going to happen, we're going to get rid of that, and that, and that. Now, I want a wall off here, but the automatic thing didn't place it right in the middle. So what we'll do is we'll measure, say that's 3, 1, 2, 3. We'll go the same on this side, so it was roughly 1, 2, 3. And we'll go across here, and that will probably split, yeah, 2 logs. Depends if you want a window, give 1. And that gap's roughly even. Now you will get issues like this. What I do is I place a single log pillar. Now these are really tricky because like you'll place it, you want it there, but it moves. So what you generally do is you place about half a log or so away. See that? That's great. That's what we want. And place a window there, 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 and there. As you can see, if we place a roof, it's going to be a problem. But there is a way around that. What you do is you find the angle points and you place 1 rock wall. You only need 1, you don't need more. It may float too. There isn't much you can do about that. This can be tricky. Pre-warning. It's not a little bit of an angle, and it looks like it floats a bit, but it can be fixed. Okay, those are all placed. Now, it might look a bit silly, but watch and learn. We place a custom roof. Now you see it goes automatic. We don't want that. You want to press C. Custom roofs are relatively easy to build. Go along and find that point where we attached it to. So there, run it to the next one. Sometimes it can be a bit tricky. It won't want to connect to things. So what you do, you just keep moving around, line it up with other things. There we go. Yeah, it's so painful. Just keep moving around. You'll eventually get it. And then you go to the next one. And you're done. Raise that up. Roofs are expensive. See, like that, and you've got a bit of a skylight. If you don't like it, I wouldn't do it. If you don't like how it looks, what you could probably do is put in a few more custom things, or you could just do that. It depends the look you want. We'll do that on that one. Build that. If you plan far enough ahead, you could always put it underneath and have a rock wall underneath. The other way is just to place a stick fence. I'm going to do it custom. Same thing. Run it along. And you can go for something like that. Now, obviously, that would look better if it was in a spot like here. And unfortunately, because there's a custom roof in the way, it's going to do this stuff. So what we do, we go along as far as we can and keep going until it does that again. And keep going. Just keep clicking until it fixes. There we go. So there. Now you should try and plan as much as you can before you obviously build a lot of these things. Because then... So you can build multiple stories and such. So what you can do is we'll extend it out. We'll just clear one section of the wall. Extend it out here. So it looks good. Now, if you want to extend it further out, you can. So we'll place it there. Now, it's just starting to get into dicey territory because we won't be able to place a wall if we place it there. Now, see, there's things, so what we can do is do what we did before. So extend it across. And then, okay, see here? That's not going to line up, so we'll just bring it back a little bit until it snaps. So like that. Perfect. And that is in alignment. So we'll build that. And then we choose a wall to knock down. So I might just knock down this one. Okay, that's done. Now we can just automatically place this. Clear that. And then we've got a room. And we're going to build this 2 stories. With some windows. I don't think I'm going to place a doorway. Let's build that. Now we're going to place a custom floor on top. Don't worry, we're going to build 2 stories. So this is how I like to do it, is you get the floor cutter out, hole cutter. Now, which way you go is completely up to you. Now, custom stairs are actually wider than this. They're about that wide. So it depends on what you want. And just press R to rotate it around. And then we've got sort of like a perfect square here. Now, I'm going to probably go about there. Press E. I'm holding down Control. It gives me a chance to do it again. So I just move back again. Try not to move the mouse as much as possible because it will affect the angle you want. Now, because stairs require a bit of headroom, because now I'm just going to quickly sleep because it's night time. I'm not playing with mods on, so no, I can't sleep yet, but hopefully you should be able to see this. So go to custom stairs. And we'll place it from the top. We'll try from the top. Either way is good. Try and get it in the center. So you'll have to deal with stuff like this. If you aim low, it goes to that. We move back. Try and keep it like that. And we jump. See, that's a bit of a lip. That might be an issue. We'll see. Nope. Now, the reason you want to clear a bit is because your head will hit on this thing. So, yeah. Okay, now it's morning. I'm going to continue building on this. Now, if you want a veranda, if that's the right word, a balcony, depends where you're from, what terminology you use. So you don't want that. So what we'll do, we'll put a custom wall in to prevent that. So we'll just extend it across. Looks good. Now say we want it to go across here. What we'll do is cancel all these. Unfortunately, custom roofs don't actually work as custom floors. Unfortunately, custom floors don't work as roofs, meaning that rain will fall through and it won't protect you from it. So we'll use this plank that it's on now as a guide. Go as far as we can before it starts tipping off. Press E. Looks good. It's a little bit of an angle for some reason. It's just probably because I went too far. You can fix that. Now we want to fix this up. Custom floor again, but we're going custom mode. Press C. And we'll go to where it ends there. Now, if you want to fix this, which I do, because I'm a perfectionist, go back along and just don't go as far. There we go, that fixed it. A little bit of a gap there, but as you've seen before, you could just use a single log. So we'll place a doorway, make sure the door lock's on the inside, not the outside. Doesn't really matter, just depends what you like. Put a couple of windows there, one window there. And yeah, let in as much natural light as we can. Finish all this off. Now this might not work. Okay, it's working. Now a good thing about this is that we can have a veranda that's got a shelter on it, so you can go outside. And also underneath, if there was no roof here, if you're standing underneath here, you'll get wet and cold, and it's just a pain. So hopefully they fix the custom floor thing one day. Now with roofs on an angle, the higher you go up, roofs in general, the higher you go up, the more logs it costs. So we'll go down until it's going to cost the least amount. See how it starts converting? You want it just below that. So like there. Now it's floating here, but obviously we're going to fix that. So we'll complete that. I'd usually recommend not completing things first and to focus on finishing it off first. But that's because it can sometimes glitch out and it will go above, but it doesn't seem to be happening. So like there. We'll place another one there. Place them. So it starts to look more realistic. I'd probably place one here too. There we go. Now with the poles in place, we could probably put a stick fence around it. Might just do custom, so press C. If you want them to go inside, it's up to you. I'm just putting them inside. You'd always do it one section at a time. Completely up to you. It's got a veranda here now. You could always put a chandelier. Yeah. Expensive, these things, man. So many bones. But yes, and then you could place your this little side table. A couple of custom chairs. Make it look nice. You always put up whatever you want out here. Now, say you want a veranda, but you don't want to place a custom platform. Okay. You should always save before clearing, because when you place these roofs and that, they're only actually connected to one section. So you could destroy all the walls except for one, and that roof would still be there. But you destroy that one wall that it's actually technically attached to, it could bring down the whole thing. It's kind of strange how it works. But say we want a veranda to come out here. Now this is quite high up, so depends on what you want. So you'd have to be careful not to fall and die. So we're not going to use a custom foundation as such. What we're doing is just using it as a guide. If you've watched my videos, you know I like using these things as guides. Let's place that. Okay, sweet. Now what we're going to do is just use a single rock pillar. Try and get it right on where it's going to be. Okay, that's off by a little bit. Cancel that. Just keep trying again. It's hard to actually tell where it's at. There we go. And then we do the other side. Like that. Now you could always go more. It is completely up to you. When placing automatically mode, you have to get the book out each time. It's a pain. Now we actually don't really need the custom foundation still. God, I switch between those words a lot. But I don't know how high to go, because this might be an issue. You can do this with single logs, but there's a problem with it that they turn into 5 logs for a single pillar, and it looks silly. Let's place that. Go again. And again. Okay. Now we'll quickly run around to see if that aligns. See, that actually aligns perfectly. So we should be able to attach a custom floor to it now. Custom section. Now you'll notice the one on the left is harder than one on the right. What this means, it doesn't mean anything. You'll still be able to place it, but it will go to the height that is at the that you attach it to. So that will actually, if you can see, I don't know if you can see, but that rock pillar will be sticking through the floor. So what you could do to make it higher is attach it to this one instead. And then that should extend across perfectly. And then we'll go across again. So we can cancel that. That was only 10 logs. See, depends if you want something like this. There are obviously some benefits to it because it's a lot cheaper. But if the pillar that gets destroyed that it was attached to, so we attached it to this one. If this pillar gets destroyed, this thing will come down. So if I hit this, it shouldn't come down, but we will see. Okay, see? You can do a lot of kind of secret sort of, you can do a lot of dodgy building doing it this way. But yeah, so because these things can be destroyed, it's might be a good idea if you're going to build things like this, protect your base really well. Oh, that's what I would recommend. Moving on. Now you could always just make another veranda, or you could even just extend it out. Okay, there's a little bit of a lip there. But you can see we're getting slightly caught on it, but not to a point where it stops us. This one here might, yeah, it slows us down. It's incredible how much a little lip can do. Yes. So we could extend this out like that. Little extension room. You can rent it out. Put the lock on the inside. And the way the floorboards go is the way the roof goes. See, it's like that. If you don't want it, you want it to go in line with the other one. Just do this. Connect it up. There we go. So we'll try and keep it in line with the other one. Like that. Roofs are the most painful part of building, I swear to God. So there we go. Yeah, I don't like the look of that. I wouldn't do that. Maybe you should have built the rock wall underneath it. Either way, depends what sort of look you want to go for. Might take out this section and keep building. Now, remember, always save because you don't know if this is going to take your roof off. Now, this is a bug that happens. Generally, the only way to fix this is to save and exit. And do not use your log cutter while this is happening, because I'll give you an example. This is actually a great time to show it. Now, see what's happening here. That's glowing red. But, you know, you'd think, oh, that's nothing to worry about. That's all good. We go over to, I don't know, I just want to cut a little bit without. Okay, it's not doing it. Sometimes it can actually clear whatever's in that red spot. So, yeah. There we go. But yes, that won't go away. I don't care. We can still work through it. Now, perhaps you want to go and extend it out, but you don't want to deal with, say, you just want it to go exactly one floor above. Now, this can be quite difficult to do, I'm going to be honest. So that's generally why I go that way with the rock wall. But say we can do it, we can give it a go. It's just difficult. So what we'll do, go along. It's probably better to go along the house, because then that way it'll be square off. If we go this way, we don't know. It could be uneven once we go back around. Run along the side of the house. That's what I would suggest. So we check where this was. Look at this pillar here. Okay, you can see it's about that distance. I don't know how you'd measure that. Just keep it in your mind. We'll do the same on this side. This is going to be hard because I can't see, but it might come from this side. This is really difficult to see. Alright. How's that? Yeah, it looks about the same. So come out. Now, another way to help you measure is to count. See how it changes? Always check that, eh? To know how many you actually want. Now, another thing is that you don't actually have to complete this side. We could just build it like this. And then we've got all the space underneath. Problem is, we want to connect it up here. So what do? We use the existing one as a guide, and this will save a lot of logs, providing we can get it exactly the same. Okay, it's a bit low. Use elevation. Okay, that's a lot higher. Even that's a lot higher. I might work with that and see how it goes. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come along to, say, here. And then I'm going to bring it in by, say, that amount. And I'll just go before it breaks apart. Go along. We'll go to here. Now, this is a problem you're going to have, is that you can't get inside it. No matter what you do, you generally cannot win. But you can always improvise, and I'll show you, this is what this game is about big time, is improvisation. Because things never go the way you want it, and like this isn't what I really want. Because that's why I don't like custom foundations, they block everything off. Ooh, that's close. But yes, that's flush. And then what you could do is wall this off here. There you go. Now this starts getting into really dodgy territory where it can really just mess you up. Because you won't be able to place walls and such. Put a window there. Stupid thing. Now you can build walls alongside staircases, but I don't know. See, like this sort of stuff. And you follow it up and see how it starts to dip. You want it to you want to go until it starts to do that funny angle shit. So it's really hard to tell. So I might go and so it's 1, right? What I'll do, I'll just keep going along. Now it's sort of flattened out a little bit, sunk into the floor a little bit, but yeah, it's all good. We'll keep going along. And we'll finish up here. Okay, now there is a... So what we can do is wall off here and go up and do the same thing. It's going to do the same shit again. Depends what you want to do. If you want to spend the extra logs to kind of have this double wall system. It's all really about how much you want to spend. So how's that look? So you wouldn't really need it, but it kind of blocks the view from down there. And that's split into 2 logs, but I don't really care. You can place windows on it. It goes at an angle. That's all right. Nothing wrong with that. You'll soon learn the art of improvisation when it comes to building in this game. Yeah, it doesn't look too bad. What you could do with this little hole, if you really didn't like it, is just build another. You should be able to go over 2. Like that. That's close enough, but you could get it to match up a bit better. Now, the biggest problem with these things here is you can't place roofs over it. It's a nightmare. What we're going to do, we're going to sleep because it's too dark. I can't see. As you can see, it doesn't want to go away. So what I would do in a situation like this, if you want to roof it off, depends on the angle it is too, because you might be able to individually, I've never tried it, but I don't think it's going to work here. So what you could do is, yeah, you're going to run into it. It's going to hit your head. I don't know. So you could do this and just work your way up. This would take quite a long time, I believe. I've actually never done this. I've just discovered this method, so might work. It's really tedious, I'm finding right now. So it just doesn't want to connect with a lot of things. Or maybe you try from the other side. You can only do 2 at a time. You can't do any less. If you do, it won't work. Yeah, it's just not wanting to connect. So what we might do, let's clear that. And we'll place a single log pillar like that. And another one like that. And this will work. It depends if you want to use you could just block it off through here and come along and extend it along. Okay, it's going on an angle. So we've got 5 logs, we'll go 5 again as well. And then you could meet back up here. It's not wanting to play ball. Maybe it's getting blocked. Okay, see, it's on a bit of an angle, but you could fix that. But we'll just place it over the entire thing. Let's try to go to this one. Hopefully it's not on an angle. It is on a bit of an angle. What you do, you just replace that 1 log, because it's going to do this stuff here. But that's no issue. That's still fine. But yes, it stuffs it up on all sides. Let's say you've got something like this and you want to cover it up. You can do it. It's hard. I'm going to show you how. So what I'm going to do, and it depends. It's the cheapest way I've found to fix the gaps. You can do the edge method, but nah. I need to go along a bit more. Okay, it's doing this crap where it doesn't want to connect up. Okay, get rid of that. This is quite advanced stuff, this, so might not be suitable for you. It's on an angle too. I would fix that if I were you. So place the roof, what you want to do. Connect it up. And then, as you can see, you can start placing it like this. Now, you would have to go too high to fix some of it. And as you can see, it's probably going to block off a lot of your room. So don't complete it yet. Try and... This is really difficult. I can't see. There we go. And then you place another one. I'm going to do this a few more times. See how I go with it. Okay, see we've got it like that. Now we want to go one more so we can block off the other one. No, I don't want to cancel that. Rocks. Cancel. Cancel. Always make sure you're cancelling the right one. I would imagine that they would fix this eventually. And we build this one. And then we place it again. I'm never going to learn the proper places for the things on this book. It's the same again. Too wide. Connect it up. Okay, that didn't work very well. Yeah, that's terrible. I'm not sure why it's done that. Okay, it's still doing it. Okay, there we go. And then we can block off that part. And then you've got this hole in the middle. Now, if you build that, you won't be able to place anything, or you might be able to, but it'll be real tricky. So I'm just going to do this. Yeah, this is really advanced. I don't know if I should be showing this. Ah, what happened? Didn't work. Try and get it in the center so it's going to fill that hole above. Now I just want to complete that. This is what stupid log thing it does. Yeah, it doesn't want to place it, so we have to manually do it. Yes, for the birds on the hand, it doesn't indicate that there are enemies nearby because I'm playing with no enemies on the game. It's just an animation. So it looks like a mess, but hopefully when we build it, okay, looks more like a monster. It blocks the hole. It kind of gives a very unique design. Yeah, I don't know. You could probably do it more. It just depends how many logs you want to spend, but I don't mind it because it kind of looks a little bit cool. And you could do, and it's blocked the windows, so I don't know. It's just something I learned, but you could do other things like. So you could even just do this as a styling thing. Yeah. yes, this is all sealed and protected. With these pillars, you could obviously go like what I would do. If you wanted I guess a pillar that's probably a little bit more structurally sound. Go like that. Square it off. So it's not quite square. It's really hard to get small squares with. So I think the minimum you'd have to go is kind of like 2. And that's another thing, it doesn't like squaring off. It's easy when it's long. See, like here, I have to backpedal. So there goes 2. Okay, no. Huh? Okay, it's not quite. Yeah, it's a lot bigger than I was hoping. You could always just do something else with it. I'll show you some rock wall tips. If you're building on a budget, this is the cheapest house you could ever build in the forest. Cheapest, and no, hands down, there is no house that would be cheaper than this. So what you do is you go 2 across, right? Then you extend it across to say there, and then you go 2 across again. This could be hard, but there we go. You see that little snap. So we'll go about that wide. You do the same again. 2. It's so frustrating. Okay, it doesn't have to be 2. It's just going to make it cheaper. And this would look semi-realistic too. I came up with this design when I was playing around with the mechanics. Connect it up. Done. Now you want the 2 bits, so like there. 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 And there. Now, it might be on a funny angle because of the way I've built it, but we'll see. It shouldn't be. Okay, then we get out the custom floor. And there. So that's only 12 logs. So this is dirt cheap already. What makes it even cheaper is you just skip the whole. You don't even build walls. I'll show you what you do. You just get the custom roof out, and we'll go long ways because like this. I don't know if this is long ways. We'll go to the corner. Connect, you bastard. Oh, it's already connected. Just didn't even see. And run it over to the corner and back again. And then up. There you go. Oh, jeez. You could do that freaking roof thing that I was showing you before if you wanted to wall it off at the end and keep it straight. But yes, I guess this would be right. TP isn't the right word. Or like a tent of sorts. But yes, you could go, we could do it again and go as high as you want before it starts converting into 2 logs. That's the way I would do it. But yes. Like that. Yeah, you don't need walls to attach the roof. And the thing is, these act like roofs, walls almost anyway. It just depends what you want to do, really. But yes, you can then add your stairs to it. So that's like, what was that, 38 logs plus the 12. That's about 3 times the size of a cabin and only costs half as much. Obviously, it's not as probably cool looking, but you built it yourself. Oh, yes. Probably what I would do, instead of building walls, you could just do something like this. Cancel all that crap. That's sticking through, but I just don't care. extend it out, do it properly so it meets on the... like that. And then obviously automatic placement. This is why I'm not a big fan of it, because it literally does do automatic placement all the way around. There we go. Now you could always place the rocks underneath. You don't have to do what I did. It's just cheap. And this would protect you from the rain and everything. Probably even climb up on top of it. Yeah, you can. So there you go. So this is an issue you might have is if you don't align things properly, this is what you can do. I'm going to show you the measurements of these walls. So now, too high of a rock wall is about a log shorter. So this is good to know if you've got these issues that you might be having. But if we go 3... stuff that. Oh, fix it. It's not worth worrying about. So we place that there. Now that's about 2 rock walls higher. But then you could always see, you start getting into areas where you could probably align it better. But you could always, the roof system is quite forgiving in this game. Like we could probably, so you can actually connect it. So you will have that space underneath, but it's not too bad. I mean, it depends how pedantic you are, I guess. But that's all you can do, really. If you want to know how to change your blueprint color, press escape, go to options, gameplay. And here it is here. There's purple, green, blue, white, and blue, and purple, and green, and white. That's all there is. And you can change the occupancy. I recommend going darker. You'll be able to see. Blue is just a choice I decided to pick up. You could go green, red, or purple, whatever you want. I find white isn't very good. Anyway, if you like this type of video, let me know. This is going to be poorly edited. It's more like a stream kind of thing. I'm still trying to work that out. Just a way to give tips and that sort of stuff so you don't have to, because I can't explain everything in one go. And if you like this video, make sure you like and subscribe. Cheers.